What's up? Today I'm going to show you how to make a gong sound using FM synthesis. It's hypnotic, otherworldly, very different than the sounds I'm used to modeling from Western music, and also it just kind of slaps with bass music. Check this out. So let's start from the patch we made, but delete all the oscillators except the first one, because I want to show you how you sort of tune these things by ear. But it'll be faster if we start with this first one, which already has the unison settings I like, which I'll talk about in a bit. We also have in the paper, they talk about just having some amplitude and frequency modulation from just a couple of hertz. So that's already set up where we have some low frequency oscillators running at like 1.5 and 2 hertz, oscillating the frequency and amplitude of the fundamental frequency that sounds like this. It kind of has that nice vibrato that a gong has. So yeah, let's then set up the next 4 harmonics that paper talks about. And I'd like to, it talks about how these upper harmonics get dampened quicker than the fundamental frequency. So I have this dampening envelope, which will kind of cut down. It'll start the upper harmonics at an appropriate volume, but then it'll dampen them quicker than the fundamental. So the upper ones are very subtle, but as we add frequency modulation, they will become a lot more prominent. Before we do the frequency modulation, I want to add in some of the atonal content. So I'm going to do that using the unison with this frequency stacking mode, which will create copies of this sine wave at some upper frequencies, and then using this detune knob and this range, we can specify where those frequencies are and make them atonal. So that sounds like this on the first one. I just kind of adjusted these knobs until it sounded like the atonal content of a gong. And then we will tune the upper ones by ear. Okay, we have a little bit too much upper harmonics now, so we can dampen those with this filter, which I just have set up that looks like this. Great. So now we have a lot of atonal content to play with. Now let's get the frequency modulation going. And keep in mind, I'm going to basically set these to sound like the rumbliest part of the gong, like right after you strike it. And then we're going to dampen the frequency modulation over time with these envelopes. So it'll kind of go from the rumbly part after you strike the gong to the more sustained pure part over time. Maybe a little too much. Great. Yeah, and let's keep adding the fundamental frequency modulation to all the upper harmonics first. Now we want this second harmonic to modulate the next two. I'll use that same macro to kind of control all the FM going to this third harmonic. And then the second harmonic to the fourth. Okay, and the last one is the third to the fourth. So the next thing I want to do is put this gong in a room and then give it some feedback in the frequency modulation. So if we add the convolver, it'll put this in the space of a theater stage, space. Awesome. Now let's set up some feedback, starting from the second. That's really cool. Now let's have the third give some feedback. Oh, that's sick. Okay, and the last one. This might be the type of thing that's nice to map to velocity. So as you can model as you strike the gong harder, you get more of this. Like that sounds like you're really whacking it. But let's have something more subtle for this preset right here. Great, I think that's most of the sound, but if we play this at higher frequencies, so I'm playing higher notes on the keyboard, and then we pitch it down, we'll now start getting even more atonal content. And excuse me, it's not pitching it down, it's shifting all the frequencies. So they kind of lose all their harmonic relationships, but it can actually sound really nice. Thank you for making it to the end of this long video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I appreciate you watching it. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe. And if there's any specific sounds you would like help making, let me know in the chat. Thanks.